Welcome back, guys. Today we are going to talk about what would happen if humans couldn't feel pain. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. You are walking barefoot across hot coals and you feel nothing at all. Not even warmth, just the steady of your feet meeting fire. This sounds like fantasy. But pain is not just a feeling you experience. It is your body alarm system, screaming that something is wrong. Without it, you bleed to death without ever knowing it started. A hunter cuts his hand on a sharp bone tool and watches blood pour out. He feels nothing, so he keeps working. The wound goes unnoticed, bacteria spreading into his bloodstream hour by hour while he hunts. By the time he collapses, fever already rules his body, and there is no chance of recovery. But that is not even the cruelest part. Pain does something else entirely. Something your body cannot survive without. Pain teaches you to avoid it the next time. It is the fastest, most brutal teacher your nervous system has. It saves your life by making you remember that fire burns, that sharp things cut, that falling from a height kills. Without that memory, you stop being careful. You stop thinking ahead. You do not live long enough to pass those lessons to anyone else. So a painless human lives fast and dies young, often before understanding why. Your ancestors felt pain. You feel it too, because they did. But pain does something else. Something your group needs to know. Pain is not just your own problem. It is a signal you send to everyone around you. When you cry out in agony, when you limp, when you hold an injured arm still and tight, everyone in your tribe learns that something is wrong. Pain teaches through behavior. It spreads around the fire each night in groans and hobbles and careful gestures until everyone knows which dangers to avoid. A painless hunter shows up the next morning, ready to work, already bleeding inside. No one sees the danger. The group learns nothing, and by then it is too late. That silence is the killer, and by then it is too late. Think about what you actually rely on when someone is hurt in front of you. Hear the cry. You see the limping. You notice the bandage or the careful grip. Every single one of those signs tells your group something it needs to know. Without pain, there is nothing to tell. No cry breaks the air. No limp slows anyone down. No visible wound triggers anyone caution. The injured person walks alone while invisible danger spreads inside their body. And no one in the group ever knew to protect themselves. No one calls out caution. No one suggests rest. The wound is never treated. Instead, infection spreads silently. Days pass with no signal. The sickness reaches deeper until it stops the heart. And the group never saw it coming. Pain is how your group stays alive, because pain is a warning broadcast to everyone. Without it, you are invisible. A danger nobody knows to fear. Now imagine this across an entire tribe at once. A group of 50 with pain can see who is hurt. They slow down. They adjust. They watch the limping hunter. They keep the sick one separate. The one who is fevered and coughing, so others do not catch the sickness. They survive because they can see the danger coming. A painless tribe of 50 sees nothing until half of them are already dead, and by then the rest are infected too. So what happens when you zoom out even further to an entire species across generations? A painless species cannot learn from its own mistakes because a broken leg feels the same as a healthy walk. You step into a trap once, it breaks your leg, you feel nothing, you keep walking, and now you limp for the rest of your life. A child in the next generation sees you walking that way and has no way to know what the trap did. Pain is not just a feeling. It is a conversation between your body and your mind, between you and your group, between this moment and every moment that came before. Remove pain and you lose far more than a feeling. You sever every connection that holds a group together. You survive this long because pain works, not because it feels bad. It cuts through every distraction. It forces your attention onto what matters most right now. It does not let you look away. And here's what actually matters. Pain is not a private injury. It is a public signal. When your body sends a message, everyone around you hears it too. When you hide an undetected infection, you bring infection into a shelter full of people who depend on staying healthy. You become a carrier. Not because you chose to, but because sickness spreads invisible when no one can see you hurt. In a small group, that is the fastest path to extinction. Pain is the alarm that stops that chain from breaking. The moment you cry out, everyone knows something is wrong. The moment you limp, the group separates you, keeps distance. Without pain, infection spreads faster than any predator could. A lion kills one person, everyone runs. The group scatters. Most survive because the danger is seen. But a painless hunter carries an infected wound into the shelter without knowing it. And nobody sees it. The bacteria spread into the air, into shared food, into the water. 3 days later, the child is coughing, breathing the same air the mother breathes. 5 days later, the mother is fevered. Pain would have warned you to stay away from that cough, to isolate, to rest apart from the group until you were safe again. But there is no signal in your body telling you to do any of that. So everyone stays close, shares breath, eats from the same pot, and waits for the next person to collapse. This is what you are actually asking for when you ask what life without pain looks like. A species that cannot feel pain does not build civilization. It just builds graves. You have felt pain your entire life and never once thanked it for keeping you alive. But that is exactly what it has been doing every single day. Pain stopped you from touching the hot pan a second time after you learned the first time. Pain made you pull your hand back before the burn went deeper. Pain told you to rest when your ankle twisted, forcing you to stop before you tore the ligament completely. Pain is the reason you are still here, and lungs that move without you thinking about it. Every time you winced, you were making a choice to protect yourself without even knowing it. That automatic shield is what painless people lose entirely. Without pain, you do not flinch away from flame. You do not pull back from sharp edges. You do not stop when something inside you is tearing. You just keep walking. That is where your species ends, not in a moment of catastrophe, but in quiet, unseen damage that no one saw coming. Every organism with a nervous system complex enough to feel pain evolved that ability for one reason: it works. A fish that does not pull away from the hook does not survive to breed. So, all the fish you see today are the ones whose ancestors felt that pain and learned. You are not different. You are the exact same proof. Your ancestors felt pain, learned from it, and survived long enough to have children. Those children learned the same way, and their children after them. Pain is not the enemy of happiness, it is the ground happiness stands on. Here is the paradox. Pain feels like the thing working against you, but it has always been fighting for you. Right now, you are alive because your ancestors felt pain. Every sting, every burn, every break, and they survived to have you. That debt you carry in your own nervous system is not a burden. It is a gift. A world without pain is not freedom. It is silent dying, and you cannot warn others about dangers no one can see. So the next time you feel a sharp pain in your foot, you pull back instantly. You do not have to think. That split-second recoil is what keeps you alive, is not a choice you make. It is an ancient circuit that runs from your skin to your spine to your muscles. A painless person has that same circuit, but the signal arrives and finds no one listening. Your hand moves into the flame anyway, because your brain never received the warning that matters. And so you return to the present moment, to now. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed watching this video, please click the like and subscribe button.